Hey guys, welcome to Wing Chun 101. 101 for me is footwork. You might think it's weird why the first lesson or video is on footwork, because most people who do Wing Chun, they train their arms or their punches first, and then maybe the first form, Sulim Tao, first. But to me, footwork is the most important thing in Wing Chun, because without movement, you won't be able to hit the guy and you'll always end up getting hit. So, which is why in this video, I'm going to talk about how to move in different ways. Of course, traditionally in Wing Chun, you move through a syllabus of stationary stance training first, because we want you to get the hand movements and the angles and the directions right. And then eventually in the intermediate form, in Cham Kyu, you would look to turn your horse and shift, and also step forward and move at angles. But I think personally that you could start moving from day one. So in this session, I'm going to talk to you about moving forward, backward, and maybe a side step. It's important to know that the footwork itself has multiple things happening at the same time. First, it's moving the distance, moving in or out of distance that you want to strike in. But also, there's an aspect of generating power in the footwork. But I'll talk about that when I talk about combining your punches with your feet later in another video. Also, there are different ways to stand. In the olden days, it would be almost 100 to 0 in the Cham Kyu stance. But eventually, as more people fought and say post Wang Shenlong or Wang Shenlong times, you'd see the stance shift from 100 to 0 to between 70-30 to 50-50. And there are meanings and uses for those too. So I'll talk about that in another in-depth Cham Kyu video. So stay tuned, and hope you enjoy this Wing Chun 101. So, Wing Chun footwork. I mentioned that we were going to do forward, backward, and maybe a side step. Before I talk about that, there's a stance that people like to use. People in the old school way used to train on 100 stance, so you could lift your leg up. This way, when you move, you have a root under you every time you step. But eventually, as people fought more, it's a compensation thing, right? It's a give or take. You could either be very, very solid or be mobile and solid enough. So eventually people shifted from 100 to 0, to some people go from 70-30, 60-40, and some even 50-50 almost when they do the shifting stance. I'm going to talk about that in the next video, but I'll just show you the basic footwork using a 70-30 stance. So you're going to keep the stance, and what's important is some people, when they step, they like to just step and drag along, which is okay, which is perfectly fine, because if you're really in close, you want to be solid, right? But I also want to generate power from when I punch. So I want to push off when I step forward. I want to push off from the back leg and go. Push off from the back leg and go. So push. So instead of just like that, I want to push off. Boom. Boom. You see? So this is forward. So forward, forward. So again, forward, forward. So remember to push off the back when you're moving forward. This is an aspect that I like to go for. But also, you want to move backwards, because sometimes you want to get out of the way. I remember when I first started training with my sifu, I asked him how to move backwards. He says, we don't move backwards, which is fair, because that's the right mindset you want to have. But sometimes I don't want to get hit too, right? So when you move backwards, it makes no sense if you do the dragging thing again, right? So when you move backward, you want to push with the front leg. Push with the front leg. Push. So forward with the back leg, back with the front leg. So it's important that when you train footwork alone, you keep some kind of upper body guard. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You could do the Wing Chun guard, you could do like a Tai Chi-ish guard, you could do a Mantis guard, but don't do weird movements. Because some people, when they train their stance, they end up going, they go, which is what you don't want to do. So keep integrity of your upper body as you just move. As you move. As you move. as you move. So if you keep this here, step, forward, back with the front. Forward with the back with the front. Forward with the back with the front. And then eventually, as you move forward and backward, you want to combine your hips and back because you want to use your yuma when you punch, right? So watch, as I push with this leg, imagine I'm throwing this punch, I'm going to turn this way, and then I'm going to turn this way, just slightly, turn this way, and then turn, turn, turn. So this is a good way to coordinate your waist with your feet when you first start Wing Chun. So moving backwards, it's the same, because sometimes when you move back, you want to say, do a lap da, right? You want to move back as you're able to hit, move forward as you're able to hit too. So when you move back, you could practice the same. As you step back, you could turn one way, turn the other, turn one way, turn the other. So if you watch, forward, backward, forward, backward. And then finally, I want to talk about a side step, because most people think it's not Wing Chun, but it actually is. I'll show you why later. So if you want to move to this side, you kind of fall to this side and then go here. So there are two ways to do this. Actually just sidestep to get out of the way, or sidestep and go forward at the same time. So if you're here, boom, sidestep and go forward at the same time, or sidestep and go forward at the same time. And people go, oh no, it's not a Wing Chun, you're using, I don't know, boxing. I'm not a boxer, I suck at boxing. But it's in the dummy. So if you imagine the Quan, the Gang, so this step, boom. Remember the first part of the dummy? Step, bam, boom, boom, half step. You see, that is a side step in Wing Chun, except we're working against something on the wall. So we're not stepping forward and backward, right? So when we put it in application, you step, bam. So you step this way and then you go forward. And when you want to go this way, and then make sure you're in line again when you're done stepping. So let's do a little follow along. So forward with your back leg, back with your front leg, again forward, back, and then as you turn, 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 forward, back, forward, back, side step, forward, back. And these are the basic foot movement of Wing Chun.
Hey guys, remember to like, share and subscribe, and follow my socials if you haven't already.